Good morning. Welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Wednesday, December the 3rd. We are here to look at the new releases that are published this week in thrillers and crime fiction. The darker side of mysteries, not the fluffy side, the darker side, the grittier side. Hope you are having a good day. Quick announcements. I don't have any sprints tonight. I don't do them on Wednesday night. Our next sprints are tomorrow night, Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. All right, let's jump in. First up, White Wolf by Eric Van Lustbader, 5th in the Evan Ryder series. Thrust readers into a world where power is being redefined by a revolutionary communication program that renders modern encryption obsolete, one that will topple global power structures and give rise to technology-driven totalitarian states. Evan Ryder races against time in a landscape where secrets can no longer hide behind digital walls. Alana Shakova, the elusive, deadly assassin White Wolf, holds the key to mastering this unhackable method. Two powerful deadly women, one quest. Will either of them survive? In this pulse-pounding thriller... Oh, Evan is a girl? The future isn't just written in code, it's locked behind it. I was thinking it was a guy, but I should have looked at the cover. Oh. Here's another of the estate, from the estates of a person who has passed. This is from the estate of Stuart Woods. This is by Brett Battles, 8th in the Teddy Faye series. Stuart Woods' Blown Away. Teddy Faye whisks away to join Peter and Hattie Barrington in Palm Springs, but his hope for a relaxing vacation vanishes when he attends a prominent actor's annual birthday party where he witnesses a heated squabble between two women, only for one of them to turn up dead the next day. Teddy investigates who might be lurking in the shadows and uncovers a web of intrigue involving a sinister plan to take over a cutting-edge energy company. If he doesn't act fast, valuable secrets risk falling into the wrong hands, but more importantly, innocent lives could be in jeopardy. The China Gambit by Jeffrey James Higgins, 3rd in the Nathan Burke thrillers. A sting operation in Tampa to capture the elusive Chinese operative known as Leopard ends in chaos, forcing FBI agent Nathan Burke and his boss, Mei Li Chan, to pursue a volatile lead to Macau. There, in the maze of glittering casinos and dark corners of China's southern coast, an enigmatic drinking game intelligence source delivers a chilling revelation. The Ministry of State Security Second Bureau has embedded itself in the very fabric of American society, compromising politics, law enforcement, and beyond. The situation turns explosive when a presidential nominee is assassinated, plunging Washington into turmoil and setting the stage for an unprecedented political crisis. As the country teeters on the edge, Ming Zhao, the ruthless director of the Second Bureau, accelerates his campaign to disintegration warfare. His strategy is as bold as it is deadly, arming radicals with weaponized opioids and fueling chaos across the United States. But Zhao's ambitions come with a lethal cost. His operatives close in, targeting everyone Nathan cares about. With assassins lurking at every turn and trust becomes a scarce commodity, Nathan uncovers the terrifying scope of a conspiracy years in the making. As the clock ticks down, every step forward brings new risks, not just to Nathan and Mei Li, but to the nation itself. The Curious Poisoning of Jewel Barnes, 12th in the Samuel Craddock Mysteries by Terry Shames. Newly single Chief of Police Samuel Craddock hasn't got time to worry about his own troubles, not with Lily Barnes' wild accusation and trucks dumping suspicious cargo outside Jarrett Creek late at night. Lily is sure her twin sister Jewel is trying to poison her, but it's Jewel who's discovered dead. Did she have a secret that could lead Craddock to her killer? Craddock's fears about the cargo are heightened by a series of alarming events. What's really being dumped, and why does the millionaire oil boss who owns the land want to keep it hidden? As Craddock closes in on the truth, excuse me, excuse me, and a murder, the stakes couldn't be higher. End of that row. Todd Goldberg has a new one. Only Way Out. Failed lawyer Robert Greene has such a good plan. Crack 300 safe deposit boxes and sail off to South America with his brilliant, morally flexible sister Penny, if it weren't for the damned freezing rain. In the dying resort town of Granite Shores, cop Jack Biddle is self-appointed king, mostly of bad decisions. Between his family's crumbling legacy, a wife who just joined the city council, and life-threatening gambling debts, Jack's looking for a way out. Then he spots a van spinning off a mountain road into the valley below. In the wreckage, Jack finds a very dead Robert, millions in heisted loot, and opportunity. All Jack has to do is clean up the mess, disappear Robert's body, make off with the fortune, and not get caught. One hitch is Penny. Another is Mitch Diamond, a wild-card ex-con who knows more about the missing fortune than he lets on. Jack, Penny, and Mitch each have an endgame, but there's only one way out, and they're crashing headlong toward it. Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Ace Atkins. It's 1985, what will soon become known as the Year of the Spy, and 14-year-old Peter Bennett is convinced his mom's new boyfriend is a Russian agent. Gary isn't in the phone book, has an unidentifiable European accent, and keeps a gun in the glove box of his convertible Porsche. Peter thinks Gary only wants to get close to his mom because she works at Scientific Atlanta, a lab with big government contracts. But who is going to believe him? He's just a kid into BMX and MTV. But after another woman who works at the lab is killed, Peter recruits an unlikely pair of allies, a has-been pulp writer and muckraker named Dennis Hotchner, and his drag performer buddy and heavy Jackie Demure. Both soon become the target of an unhinged Russian hitman. Is it Gary? Maybe, with a serious Phil Collins obsession. Meanwhile, Sylvia Weaver, a young black FBI agent, why do you need to put the color? It doesn't matter. Investigates Scientific Atlanta in the wake of employee's murder and discovers a nest of Russian spies in the southern city too busy to hate. Little does she know her investigation is being thwarted by a seriously compromised colleague in Washington, D.C., who is in league with a lovesick hypochondriac KGB defector who is playing both sides of the Cold War to his benefit, etc. Edge by Tracy Clark, fourth in the Detective Harry Foster series. Chicago's finest are scouring the city for a tainted new opioid making the rounds, but they're coming up empty, with 5 people already dead, a college kid, a new mother, and 3 poker players. All they really know is the drug's name, Edge. Where it's coming from is still anyone's guess. Detective Harriet Foster doesn't have time for guessing games. She needs answers. And when the next overdose hits homicide where it hurts most, Harry is determined to get what she wants, but keeping her eyes squarely on the prize proves harder than expected. Still reeling from her last case and the stain of suspicion it left on her career, Harry finds herself at a tipping point. The drug isn't the only edge she needs to worry about. If she can't come back from her own, there's no telling whether this investigation will lead to a satisfying conclusion or her own demise. The Night Watcher, first in the Callie Monroe thrillers by Tariq Ashkanani. As private investigators go, Callie Monroe is tougher than most. She's had to be. Abandoned as a baby and raised by a succession of strangers, she knows a thing or two about surviving. But she never expected to find herself hunting a serial killer. After uncovering a string of missing women no one seems to care about, Kelly refuses to look away. With police ignoring the evidence, her only ally is an organized crime boss with his own agenda. The deeper Kelly digs, the more dangerous the hunt becomes. Every clue exposes another lie. Every step brings the killer closer. She's fighting for the forgotten, but if she's not careful, she'll be next. End of that row. The Man on the Endless Stair by Chris Barkley. When troubled but talented young author Ewan meets decorated novelist Malcolm Furnival, he feels his luck has finally changed. Malcolm takes Ewan as a protege, vouching for him in the rarefied literary scene in the 1950s. But lately, Malcolm has not been himself. Consumed by his work, he cuts an increasingly isolated figure and has become convinced that something terrible will befall him. He summons his loved ones to his secluded island in the Hebrides and, to everyone's surprise, entrusts Ewan with the task of completing his masterpiece. Malcolm's suspicions soon prove well-founded. He is discovered brutally murdered in his study, and his invaluable unfinished novel has vanished. Cut off from the mainland with a killer on the loose and the island's inhabitants circling, Ewan feels both his mentor's legacy and his only chance at greatness slipping away. He must venture deep into Malcolm's labyrinthine mansion to find the manuscript before it falls into the wrong hands. But what he doesn't yet know is that the closer he comes to solving the mystery, the tighter he will bind himself to a fate more dangerous than anything he's yet imagined. Dun dun dun. The Living and the Dead by Christopher Carlson, translated by Rachel Wilson Broyles. This is translated from Sweden. Winner of the Best Nordic Crime Novel. Sorry, there's a whole bunch of blurbage, so I can't show the cover while I read this. Small towns sometimes have a voice of their own. On a snowy winter night in 1999, Sander and Killian leave a house party together outside a small town of rural Sweden. The very best of friends, the two 17-year-olds imagine they will remain so forever. But by the next morning, a corpse is found in the trunk of a car, and each boy is a suspect in the murder. Each has something they want to conceal from the police, and from the other. The hunt for the killer will take more than 20 years. It will see the lead detective leave the force forever, and it won't end until a second body turns up in similar circumstances, and the tight-knit community's secrets are finally brought to light. Interesting. I do know people who, you know how my favorite kind of book is the historical mystery. There are people, I know of at least one person who prefers the Nordic crimes. The Day I Lost You by Ruth Manzini. I need to report a crime. My baby has been stolen. All Lauren wants is a new life in Spain. She suffered an unimaginable loss, but at last she has found a home in the pretty seaside town of Mantilla de Mar. Everyone deserves a new start, and Lauren needs to put her past firmly behind her. Hope has everything: an interesting career as a therapist, an attractive husband, a dream home in the countryside, and finally, the baby she's always longed for, Sam, her beautiful boy. But Sam has gone missing. So when the police tell her that a woman has been found in Spain with a child matching Sam's description, Hope thinks that her nightmare might be coming to an end. But Lauren is insisting Sam is her baby. She even has his passport and birth certificate to prove it. So what really happened to baby Sam, and who still has secrets to hide? One child, two mothers, and a past that won't let them go. No One Aboard by Emmy McGuire. At the start of summer, the billionaire couple Francis and Lila Cameron set off on their private luxury sailboat to celebrate the high school graduation of their two beloved children. 3 weeks later, the Camerons have not been heard from. The captain hasn't responded to radio calls, and the sailboat is found floating off the coast of Florida. Empty. Where are the Camerons? What happened on their trip? And what secrets does the beautiful boat hold? Who is more dangerous to a family, a stormy ocean or each other? Well, I would suspect pirates or drug smugglers. Somebody just drove by outside. The ice is very crunchy, it sounds like, out there. Friends and Liars by Kit Frick. It's been 5 years since heiress Claire Monroe tragically died on New Year's Eve at her family's opulent Italian palazzo. Since that time, her college friends have harbored a dark secret. Their lies and betrayals led to Claire's untimely death. What happened that fateful night was a horrible accident, but Luca, Harper, Serena, and David are guilty nonetheless, and their desperate decision to conceal the truth destroyed their once close bond. Now the estranged friends are each the recipient of an invitation from the Monroes to return to the lakeside palazzo for a long overdue memorial for Claire. I would turn it down, truly. Accepting the Monroes' invitation means playing with fire, but they can hardly refuse. Luca, Harper, Serena, and David have barely settled into their idyllic accommodations on Lake Como before someone at the memorial party begins targeting them. Haunted by the little gifts left in their rooms, taunting notes, and unshakable sense of being watched, it soon becomes clear that someone on the guest list knows the whole truth about the night Claire died, and their secrets her friends have been keeping. Nothing is as it seems at the palazzo on the lake, and under their tormentors' vengeful gaze, their secrets and their lives are in danger. Oh, another vehicle went by. Yes, break up the ice. Dead Ringer by Chris Houghty. Set in present day, a disgraced former Secret Service officer and a Jesuit professor join forces to delve into the mysteries surrounding the events of November 22nd, 1963. Fixated on deciphering the conspiracies behind the history-changing assassination, they are oblivious to the fact that the cabal is still active and may face an end as bloody as the carnage in Dealey Plaza. Will they be able to uncover the truth in time, or will they become 2 more footnotes in history? 400 pages. Last one. Closing Time by Michael Ledwidge, whatever. 5th in the Michael Gannon series. It's springtime in Key West, and Michael Gannon is busy supporting his son's dreams of making it in minor league baseball, but a late-night encounter with a seemingly harmless Australian at a dive bar turns deadly when Gannon unwittingly becomes the prime suspect in a convenience store shootout. Seeking the mysterious Australian to clear his name, Gannon uncovers a deadly conspiracy involving a global banker on the run from a shadow paramilitary force that will go to any lengths to stop him. From the Florida Keys to Wall Street, Gannon's quest for answers takes him deep into the middle of a deadly game of power where one wrong move could be his last. I forgot to click on it. We'll give it its moment. And that is all we have for this week. Hope you have a good day. Be safe. Read good books. Again, I don't have any sprints tonight. Our next sprints are tomorrow night, Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. We do every Tuesday and Thursday evening and Saturday afternoons. Friday, we'll look at the rest of the cozy mysteries that are being published this week. There's always a lot of those. I was just reminded a little while ago that looking at, end of year and then books coming out in the next year, January is the Midwinter Histmist, I believe. So be thinking of what kind of historical mysteries you might want to read. All right. Thank you very much. Be safe. And as the banner says, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Om nom nom. Have a good day. God bless.